Guys, about an hour ago, I was fishing, trying to catch something. I saw a little glint in the bottom of the lake.
Okay.
So, I made sure that I had my protective charm on. I dived down deep, and this is what I pulled up.
Wow, that's like a huge mace with like a dragon head.
Yeah, and
staff.
Every single time I turn my wrist around, it doubles in size.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Whoa.
Brucker, what have you got over there, man?
I just have a little gun.
A gun in feudal Japan? It was a sword 1 second, then turned into a gun for some reason, because they have guns back then.
Every time I flip it, it's like it just turns into something else. It just won't stop. And it's now just a brick. It just keeps going lower into the melee of it. I just have a brick now. So
stop moving it, or else it'll be like,
how many blood
useless
objects can we get?
Guys, here's what I have. An umbrella. Pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
That's a weapon?
Yeah, I thought it would be pretty good.
I mean, it was the scariest thing in this movie.
Yeah, I mean,
It is,
don't mind
yeah.
the tongue on this umbrella,
I was going to say, other than licking, like, what does it do?
it's an umbrella.
It causes distractions.
Just hey, distractions. If there's a flock of birds on a beach, can scare them up into the air.
You can pull a Sean Connery.
Falling from great heights. It can,
Yeah.
You can fall from great
fly.
heights with it.
Fall from great heights, pretty much flying.
I guess that's useful.
Yeah, just don't mind the tongue. If your cheeks get a bit wet, just don't worry, guys. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
I also have this like pottery pot that I can use. It's very Mary Poppins-esque. I could just like put so many things in here. Like I could put whole beings in here, and like that's. It's great for snacks and other things too.
Is that a pregnant raccoon dog that is in your pottery pot over there, Brucker?
You weren't supposed to see that, but yes, I
Wasn't supposed to see him.
What else do you have hiding in there?
well, I have some of these apparition field guides that have no useful information.
Wait, is that first edition? I've been scouring feudal Japan for that for the past few months.
Maybe we should stop pulling things out of this cursed lake, guys. I don't know what's going to happen to us. Let's put a little back.
We are all wearing our protection charms, right? We should be.
Yeah.
Brucker, you've got your protection charm?
Oh, yes, I got that and so much less. But yeah, I have that.
Okay, we cannot lose them because they're the only things that are going to keep us safe.
That's right.
Put the pottery back, Brucker. Put it back in the lake. There we go. The brick too. Put the brick down. Put the brick.
Brucker.
I've grown pretty fond to the brick.
Brucker. What are you doing? Put the brick
pretty
down.
important.
Brucker.
Okay, you want
Brucker.
You're playing with fire. I'll put it in the fine. It's in the water.
Okay. Let's just pray it stays there all episode. Welcome back to Podzilla, everyone, the show where we work through all the Godzilla movies, all the Gamera movies, Daimajin movies, and now the Yokai Monsters movies, just in time for spooky season. Ooh. It's me, Jasia. I'm here with my brother, Mykah.
Hey, that is me. And today we have a special guest. Mm-hmm. You know him, you love him. Brucker Nourse. Brucker, how are you doing, mate?
Hello, I'm doing so good. So excited to be back podding with you two on Podzilla. I'm very excited to be here to talk about this wacky movie.
Spook Warfare. Brucker, it is good to have you back because you were like one of our original guests in the first season we did of the show way back for Matango.
Oh, man.
So what is it? It's been like 3 or 4 years now. It's crazy how time flies.
Oh, yeah. Time flies. That was a great episode if people want to go back and check that one out.
Yeah.
Matango's great movie. Spook Warfare. Very different.
Very different. But it has like little weird, goofy Japanese monsters as well. Like giggling mushroom people. This has maybe a lot weirder stuff. So it felt like the perfect opportunity to pull you back in and show you something else very strange.
It's quite the feat that you found a movie stranger than Matango, honestly. Like that's so impressive.
I think I came into this movie expecting like full-fledged horror. nothing was being held back. That was how you pitched it to me,
It's
Jason.
Spook Warfare, maybe the spookiest Japanese movie of all time, guys.
Spook is in the name.
Vampires, blood, perfect for October.
And then I started the movie and I'm like, oh, shoot. Maybe we got Brucker on for the wrong episode.
Brucker, were you scared?
I'm always scared when y'all pitch these movies because I have no idea what I'm going to get myself into. But to like the points and the point that you made in your previous episode on 100 Monsters, this is kind of straight up horror. Like, this is, so I felt like I am appropriate to be on here today to talk about it.
Good.
I know, right? Who else other than the host of Autopsy of a Horror Movie, the only horror movie podcast out there? I'm pretty sure. I haven't checked. You can take my word for it. It's the best one, if not.
Oh, you're too nice.
No, honestly, it's great to have the gang back together to talk about, Japanese horror movie. But I know last time you were on Brucker, again, which was years and years ago, we kind of learned a little about you, talked about your history with Godzilla movies and kaiju films. But I wanted to do something a little bit different, guys, because it is October. And I want to ask you guys, what are your favorite horror movies? Let's just go back to basics. What should people be checking out this October? And maybe before we get to you, Brucker, why don't we start with you, Mykah? Because you're the movie guy. You love horror movies.
I'm the movie guy.
You're the movie guy.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Movie Mykah. That's what we call you, man.
That's what everybody's
calling me. I admittedly do not watch a lot of horror movies, let alone. Heck, I will chuck out though. Brucker, have you seen the movie Body Parts?
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't think so.
1991. I don't know who directs it. It probably isn't even my favorite, but it's one of the ones I do want to chuck out there.
You are movie Mykah, going for like a deep cut for your horror movie recommendation.
Directed by Eric Red, but also starring Brad Dourif, who I absolutely love.
Yeah.
It's a movie about a guy who is in an accident, and I think he needs to get his arm or leg amputated, and he gets a transplant of one. But it's the limb of a serial killer who has passed, and he finds that as he goes about his life, one of his own limbs is trying to sabotage pretty much every move he makes, and starts to go about trying to kill those around him.
Oh, it kind of sounds like
who can you trust when you can't trust your own hand?
Yeah.
It's like a cross with like Frankenstein and a more deadly idle hands. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I remember that one. That one was wild, man. The thing I remember most is maybe it's when he loses his arm, or maybe it's just another car crash in the movie. But it's like the craziest car crash I have ever seen in a film, with like this body just flying into the air. And maybe he only loses his arm from it. He should have lost much more. But yeah, no, good recommendation, Mykah. I'm impressed.
Thank you. I feel like I don't have too much else to chuck out. I won't embarrass myself further. That'll be the one I throw out there.
Great.
No, we have been blessed with movie Mykah's recommendation. So thank you so much for that.
Brucker, I mean, what would you recommend?
Oh, man. So it's funny that you mentioned Body Parts, a movie that does kind of feel like very Frankenstein-y, because I've been spending most of this spooky season just going back to the classics of the Universal monster movies. I've been going through like Invisible Man, Dracula, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, which I love going back to all those. I think they're so much fun, and especially for people that are timid or like they think they don't like horror movies. I always recommend going back to those because there's so much cool like filmmaking going on in them. So it's kind of cool to go back to that. But in terms of like new movies, I recently checked out on Shudder this movie called Oddity that was pretty good. I don't know if y'all have heard of it or seen it.
I have heard, like, social media has been a bit of buzz about it. I remember some people saying it's like got some of the scariest scenes in modern horror or something like that.
Oddity was pretty cool. I mean, it's an indie, lower budget movie, but it felt Mike Flanagan-esque in terms of building kind of like tension. It was pretty good. If you're into like the spooky supernatural type of horror movies, with that has like decent atmosphere and it's character driven. I recommend checking out Oddity. It's a pretty good little horror flick that's out now.
Awesome. Good recommendation. I really take Shudder for granted, but there's some cool stuff on there.
There's a lot of cool stuff.
I don't know if many people have checked them out, but the recent like VHS movies will be a big recommendation from me. I wasn't a fan of the first few, which are like horror anthologies done by a few different directors. But the more modern ones are really, really cool. I think there's a new one that just came out that I haven't watched yet.
Yeah, VHS Beyond.
Yes.
Which is like very like, I think it's like alien centric. So that's cool. I love anthologies.
And am I right that in like Mike Flanagan again, did his wife direct one in this latest anthology? I think. I forget her name.
Kate Siegel, I think.
Yes. Yeah. I think she directed one of them.
Oh, that's very, very, very cool. So yeah, we'll definitely need to go check that out. And I love horror anthology movies. Those are always fun.
I know. Yeah, so that would be those would be a recommendation for me, even though I haven't seen the latest one. But guys, I have to recommend Puppet Master 2.
Oh man.
If you know me, I am obsessed with like watching through horror franchises to death. Last year, I made sure I got through all the Halloween movies. And then over on your show, Brucker, it was actually because of your show, we did like a little horror, little Halloween episode, like looking at the series.
A little.
Yeah, it actually wasn't a little one, no.
Hours.
Yeah.
It's a mega episode. We went through
awesome.
Every single different Halloween franchise timeline and trying my best or our best to walk through all those, which Mike, I don't know if you know, there's not just one continuity of Halloween. There are several. It's a pick and choose your own adventure horror series.
This is news to me and it makes me want to watch that series more and more.
Yeah. So we did that episode and I had no clue about it either. So off the back of that, I was like, okay, I need to watch the Halloween movies.
Is it not something that's apparent when watching through them normally?
Not really spelled out.
Not until like the David Gordon Green like recent trilogy, they kind of like flatly say like, hey, remember this thing? That's not real. But characters come and pop out of existence. So not just like, oh, they died, now they're alive, or vice versa. Yeah. It's much like, who are you talking about, Jamie Lloyd? Who is that? I never had children.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. So I think you got me hooked actually, Brucker, on this recent trend of mine to just watch horror franchises like crazy. And then after Halloween, I started Puppet Master, which is like, if you go through all Puppet Master and Demonic Toys and all the crazy spin-offs, there's like nearly 30 movies. And being honest, like 99% of them are just trash. Like the most budget, cheapest, like direct-to-video movies ever made.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of gems in there, guys. And Puppet Master 2 is like one of my favorite horror flicks ever. And it's because it feels like some of the Universal Monsters movies. It's about this puppet master, this dude from years and years, decades ago, who was assassinated. And he's trying to bring himself back to life by using people's brain matter to turn into like a serum, and he's trying to put his consciousness into a puppet, like a full-size human puppet.
And he's already dead at this point.
He's like zombified and dead and undead, and he's trying to kill people, and this puppets are bringing people's brain matter out, and he's trying to put himself into a wooden puppet, and puppets are accidentally like killing animals and using animal brain matter and giving him the brain of an animal. It's just crazy. It's just so crazy. And it feels like Frankenstein, or it feels like the Invisible Man movie from Universal Monsters. So I'd really recommend that one.
Man, if I had a choice to reanimate myself into something, I don't think a puppet would be the first thing on my list.
But if your name was the Puppet Master, you know, Brucker, that's what you're known for. You got a collection of puppets. You're the puppet guy, you know?
There you go. Oh, okay. Well, I'm on board, man. All right. Puppet me up, man. Let's go.
Puppet me up.
Autopsy of a Horror Movie, Puppet Master Timeline, episode win, Brucker. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, dude. I think legally I have to get my will made first before I put myself through something like that.
It's a smart choice. I think I've gone insane. I haven't even finished watching through them yet. But yeah, there's a few recommendations, guys, if you're looking for something to watch as we get closer to Halloween. But maybe I've got a little game, guys. Should we do this at the top of the episode?
I love
This
games.
is going to be a bit of fun. Horror movie related. If you are listening for Spook Warfare, you can use the chapters in your podcast app of choice to skip forward to that discussion. But before we get there, I thought this was perfect, right? We've got Mykah, the movie guy, who
Yeah,
doesn't
movie
really
Mykah.
watch movies, has seen maybe 1 or 2 horror movies in your life,
If that.
if that. And we've got Brucker from Autopsy of a Horror Movie, which is the guy that I look to for my horror movie recommendations. So I thought we could play a game called Mykah versus Brucker Spooky Theme Song Warfare.
Oh.
Spooky Theme Song Warfare.
Oh,
You know?
Oh gosh,
I'm already quaking in my boots.
I am too, because I have a little bit of a small, tiniest of a reputation to keep up here. So we'll see we'll see how well I do.
I might make it worse for you, Brucker, as well. I've got 6 theme songs, and what I've done to them is I've like sped them up a bit. I've shifted the pitch, but I'm just going to play an excerpt from 6 different theme songs from horror movies. It could be any horror movie. I'm going to play it. We'll get you guys to answer with what movie you think it's from. I might get you to answer first, Mykah. And if you get it right, you get 2 points.
Hey,
And then Brucker, if you get it right, you get 1 point. How about we do that?
Super fair.
There we go. So Mykah, by just guessing a handful, you could potentially beat Brucker if he
yeah.
doesn't know a few of these.
well, I need to answer 3 correctly to get full points. Full
There we go.
marks.
There we go. This is going to be easy, guys.
It's
Brucker, this is
on.
going to be easy, man.
I love your set. You know, I didn't. It's not just the original music we're listening to. You've like added dubstep beats to it, and freaking Metallica's playing over it. So
Yeah.
Reversed it.
A lot of reverb. Yeah. Get ready.
yeah.
Let's go with horror theme song number 1. There we go.
I want to say this is a classic.
Okay.
Am I right in saying that?
Man, it's there's a lot going on in there. If you're feeling classic, yeah, maybe don't go with your gut, but yeah, we'll see.
I want to chuck out Friday the 13th for that.
You're saying Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Locked in?
Yes.
Brucker, what would you say?
Ooh, gonna go with Halloween here.
It is, of course, the theme song from Halloween. Brucker, you've got a point. You're on the board. I love how confident you are.
You know what? I
Mykah.
was pretty confident in that. Now I've just sunk.
Honestly, I thought he was going to get that. I was like, anyways.
These do get harder as we go on, so that's
great.
good omen.
I
will
just want
say-
to try to get one.
Oh, wait, hold on. I think I know the issue here. Mykah, you're no longer movie Mykah. You're a music Mykah now. Put on that hat.
Yes, you shift.
Thank you. Yeah, I've got the mental.
Yes. I will say as well, just a bit of behind the scenes, I had to test these before we started recording. I had to test the first song. Mykah heard a bit of it and he was like, this is going to be easy. I know what that is. And then he locks in Friday the 13th. Okay, let's go to theme song number 2. All right. Do we need a replay, guys?
No,
Sure.
I've got.
Oh, you
No,
good?
we don't need one, Brucker. We've got this in the bag.
Okay, music Mykah's got it.
It sounds very early 2000s.
Okay. The other one was a classic. This is early 2000s.
I just stopped chucking out things that sound factual. I'm I'm so in the dark here. I am going to say that this is from Poltergeist.
Poltergeist from the early 2000s. Okay.
Is that from the 2000s?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Brucker, what do you
It was
think?
ahead of its time.
Yeah. Yep.
I would say this one doesn't. It doesn't speak to me as clearly as the first one, but I kind of had the same inkling as Mykah, and I was thinking maybe Saw.
Yeah.
It kind of sounded like that, but I don't. I'm now scared to see what the answer is.
It was Saw.
Oh, let's go!
Brucker, you got 2 points. Early 2000s Saw. Yeah.
I'm so close to guessing Saw.
Okay. Good job, Brucker. You're owning it. Let's go theme song number 3. Brucker's nodding. Mykah. Early 2010s?
Early 2010s. Can I phone a friend?
You can phone a friend. Hey, Brucker.
I think we want to stick.
Can you give me a decade?
I wish I could. I mean, it's older, I think.
Okay.
I think let's stick with like super classic, what some people might regard to as one of the best in the realm of possession.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. I'm gonna go with is it called? Is the first movie just called Chucky?
It's called Child's Play.
Child's Play. I'm gonna lock in Child's Play.
Locking in Child's Play. Okay, Brucker.
I'm going to go with The Exorcist.
It is The Exorcist. Guy knows
Sorry,
his stuff.
I was trying to steer you. And I was like, I don't want to say demonic because I thought it'd be too.
You said possession, exorcism.
I'm impressed you knew Chucky was an possession movie. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Honestly, he should get a point for that. Like
we could give him a point. Mykah gets a point.
I was channeling the Brad Dourif energy.
Yes, yeah.
Give him another point because he knew Brad Dourif was in that. Let's
That is actually impressive. Oh my gosh.
That is pretty good. That's a good poll.
Yeah.
And the first movie was Chucky. Yeah. Okay. Theme song number 4. This is when things might get a little bit harder.
Locking in Puppet Master.
You think I would do that to you?
Surely.
I think you would. I think.
yeah. There's a non-zero chance you put Puppet Master in here.
To be honest, I don't know if it's because it's sped up or what, but it doesn't sound all that familiar to me. So I'm going to go with Mykah here and go Puppet Master because I haven't seen the Puppet Master movies. So I'm going to go with Puppet Master.
Unfortunately, Music Mykah wasn't right this time
It
around.
was Puppet Master 2, dang it.
I should have put Puppet Master in here, but no, that was Alien.
Oh, it was?
Which I guess doesn't really have a huge
Wait,
theme.
can you play that again?
Yeah, let's have a listen.
Oh.
I was going to say it sounded so one note, one chord at the start there.
Yeah, I
which
guess
is
it's
such
just
a classic
Alien's more of
Alien.
like a soundscape, right? When you're moving through the ship and hearing the little bits of music.
I thought there was no sound in space.
Yeah, come on.
No one can hear you. In space, no one can hear you guessing correctly.
Or incorrectly.
We got 2 more. What are our points? I've started. Brucker's got 3, Mykah's got 2. So you're on his heels.
2 honorary points.
Shit. I forgot I wasn't going to double.
Number 5.
That sounded like such superhero fanfare.
That was epic.
No clue. I'm going to chuck out flipping, what's it called with Nightmare on Elm Street. That's what I'm putting out there.
Oh, you think Freddy's creeping down an alley to this music?
Creeping down a nightclub.
Those long arms that Freddy has in that first film. Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to try to pitch shift it in my mind.
Reverse pitch shift. Slow down.
Oh, shoot. I'm trying to think what movie theme has like trumpets or horns in it. I'm trying.
It's a lot more like orchestral than the other ones we've listened to.
It is. I feel like it's not a slasher, but oh shoot, I am kind of stumped on this one, to be honest.
It's the snare roll on the drums that gets me.
It's strange because it doesn't really. You're just here then, and you would be like, oh yeah, superhero movie or action movie or fantasy movie. I don't know. Not a horror movie.
Oh, this is driving me nuts. This is so. I'm just a complete dart throw, and I can't even remember what this one's. I'm just gonna go Amityville Horror. I know that's wrong, but that's just what I'm gonna go with.
Good guess. It was Evil Dead 2. Another one of my favorite.
Seriously?
Another one of my favorite horror movies.
I almost went with that. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. I see you. All right.
And it makes sense though. I kind of like it because Ash is kind of just an unstoppable superhero in that film. You know?
Yeah. I'd count him as one of the great heroes.
Yeah. Let's go with the last one, guys. Number 6. Might be the hardest of the lot, Mykah. What do you got?
The fact that you've pitch shifted these is what's getting me.
Yeah.
I don't want to state this as a matter of fact, but I feel like I have seen this movie.
Okay.
What's No, I've got no clue. I want to say it's a movie with like a big monster. So I'm gonna chuck out like a potentially horror movie. Oh. I think you've done an off-brand, like random song on the soundtrack of Ghostbusters.
You think this is a Ghostbusters? Okay, that's a good guess.
Again, this one's tricky too. I think you would do something cheeky like this. Is this from Spook Warfare?
No, it's not. But good guess.
It kind of sounded very orchestral and everything like the beginning of this.
Yeah, it was Hellraiser. Which
okay.
It's quite a like nice theme song, but
That sounded
pretty good theme song. But yeah, it's a funny one. So well, Brucker, we end with you on 3, Mykah on 2. I do have a tiebreaker. But Brucker, I'll leave it to you. Do you want to go whoever wins the next one, winner takes all? Or are you happy with your up on the horror throne?
I mean, I'm happy where I'm at, but I mean, I feel like it would be a disservice to the listener to not know what bonus track that you had.
Okay, let's give it a listen.
Why couldn't you just pick Jaws or something? I'm getting so thrown off by these last few.
That sounded so like Luigi's Mansion.
I'm not going to confirm or deny that tiebreaker was going to be Puppet Master. I'm not going to confirm or deny that's what it was.
I was going to say that sounds the most puppety of them all.
I
could hear the carousel in the background.
Yeah.
I had to sneak it in. But congratulations, Brucker, for winning Spooky Theme Song Warfare. Until next October.
It was close. I nearly got you.
I know.
It was close.
You got me, man, with just that Brad Dourif deep pull. You got me.
Fun. That was awesome. Mykah, we got any kaiju news?
No grand kaiju news.
Nothing happening?
Heck, I will throw out there that me and Jaysha are, at the moment at least, planning on going through with playing and potentially talking about the new Kong game.
Yes, Kong Survivor Instinct.
Which name did escape me for a second there.
Yeah.
In a couple episodes, and that is dropping, I believe, next week.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm not going to fact check that.
And we are going to play it?
We are going to play it.
Is that a mistake?
So watch out for the release of that.
Okay.
Try play along because it'll be fun to have one person write in. But no other news of note.
All right.
Oh, no, heck. Might not be applicable. -1 is having a little re-release in theaters very shortly.
See that. Yeah.
And there was a new poster that released.
For Godzilla -1. Did you end up seeing -1, Brucker?
I haven't seen it yet. It might still be on Netflix here. I've been really wanting to like find time to see that because I know so many people were saying that it was amazing.
I think you'd really dig it. It's a lot more like emotionally charged than a lot of the other Godzilla movies, and a lot darker as well, and just some cool monster stuff. Yeah, I think it is on Netflix still.
Hailed as, even by our standards, like one of the best Godzilla films.
That's awesome. I love that.
Glowing praise from us.
Yeah.
And it's such a cool story too. You know, it was like a lower budget movie technically, but made by all these like
going on for an Oscar.
Yeah, all these visual effects people just going 100 miles an hour. Like it's such a cool story.
Yeah, super cool. Well, yeah, let's get back into spooky stuff, shall we? Yokai Monsters Spook Warfare came out the same year as Yokai Monsters 100 Monsters. The previous movie was really popular with the kids. A lot of kids love these yokai. So Dai-A, the production company, were like, let's make another one. And they decided to make it about vampires to get a bit more fluid with the gore. Fluid? With the fluids?
You know, really, really let the kids' dreams fly and soar.
Babylonian vampires haunting them for the rest of their lives. But I can't wait to talk about it. Brucker, did you want to lead us in with a synopsis?
Yes, alrighty. Everyone gather around the campfire for Yokai Monsters Spook Warfare from 1968. We open up in the ruins of the city of in Babylonia, where two treasure hunters are digging at a site. These explorers find the tomb of a large being wielding a powerful staff. They did not realize that they had unfortunately awakened an ancient monster named Daimon that had been at rest for 4,000 years. To thank the treasure hunters for ending his slumber, he kills them immediately with a landslide and fallen rocks. Now awakened and hungry for blood, Daimon seeks a victim. In a fight with wicked 1960s practical effects, Daimon fights and kills a Lord Magistrate via bite to the neck. Now, masquerading as his victim, Lord Magistrate, Daimon goes back to the Magistrate's home and puts on a scene of violence and authority, destroying all of the religious temples and relics and ordering all of them in the vicinity to be burned. In this destructive act, an water imp is awoken and sees that a monster is impersonating as Lord Magistrate. The two engage in combat, but ends with the yokai water imp retreating to the Japanese wilderness to seek help from the rest of the yokai. Meanwhile, after Daimon has vampirically converted others under Lord Magistrate's domain, he seeks fresh blood and orders his new servants to capture children for his consumption. We see children escape attempts of kidnapping to fulfill this deadly order, and they cross paths with the water imp and the other yokai in the forest. This brings proof to the water imp that he needed to secure the help that he was asking for from the rest of the yokai. The yokai gather together and go fight Daimon, but they are unsuccessful at first. After an escape from imprisonment, the yokai and a samurai battle Daimon in an epic, confusing battle filled with magic and eye stabs. Daimon is defeated, and the yokai ensures safety for Japan for now.
Love it. What a movie, guys. What a movie. What a change up from the first film as well. I mean, it was a lot more slow, a lot slower. Wasn't much time given to the yokai. And in this, we've got heaps of them joking around, talking.
I think also like such an incredible tonal change in the subject matter. Brucker, did you end up watching the first yokai movie?
I did not, because I just went into this completely blind. And
yeah.
Yes, after the fact, I did listen to y'all's wonderful episode, so I feel a tiny bit caught up.
Yeah, awesome. It feels very disjointed narratively,
Very standalone.
but one of the big things about the first movie was that the antagonist of the movie was this group of humans who were still very overbearing. Whereas in this movie, I love the change up that the enemy, the antagonist, that both the humans and the yokai are trying to face is yet another yokai, or at least another like spiritual kind of mystical being in Daimon.
Oh.
I think that's such a cool little direction to take the story.
It's a funny like premise because it's ancient vampire from Babylon gets awoken, flies to Japan, and then takes on Japan's like army of ghosts. It's crazy.
It is. This was completely bonkers. I was struggling to keep up with like all the plot beats because it feels like it would be going one direction and just kind of snap to something else. I'm like, wait, what's happening? But
Yeah.
I will say I did rather, as cheesy and kind of poor as they were in some points, I did rather enjoy the practical effects that were in this.
It is pretty cool, especially when you think of, what was it, 1968? There's some killer stuff. And I think that the scene that stood out to me the most was maybe when Daimon first shows up at this magistrate's house and he's going up against this guy and he's disappearing and then reappearing behind him. Swords are getting like cut into pieces and then reformed. And it's just so moody throughout as well. Like there's so much smoke. You're only really seeing Daimon via his silhouette for a lot of it.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah. It was really cool. And like all like the fighting in this, it really felt very Power Rangers to me.
Yeah. I love how 1 second you get like, this vampire like sucking into someone's neck. The next second you get him like rubbing this turtle man's head against a wooden post until it like sets on fire. It like switches from real horror to almost Looney Tunes.
Yeah. They have a lot of fun with it. The fact that there are so many cuts of like Dyer very intentionally trying to show like the creepiness of blood splattering across these characters' clothes and onto the floor, and then cutting to scenes of like, I don't know, this potato flesh man just wearing a hat and this long-necked woman just hiding her neck behind a post so they can try get some practicality in there.
It was so bizarre, and just the gang of all the different yokai. The one that like stuck out to me, I mean, there was a lot, but one that I was still just so fascinated with was the one with the really big belly, and he would like use it as a crystal ball. It felt like that dude from I forget his name, but the guy from Total Recall. He has like that little like creature in that can like see the future. If that's what it felt like.
I was thinking Teletubbies when he pulled out that ball. It's so strange as well, because there's a scene when he almost looks like he's about to give birth and everyone's crowding around him and they're like, make sure not to exhale, make sure not to exhale.
Like rubbing his belly.
They're rubbing his belly, like looking into it to see where the demon is.
I love the filmmaking side of it as well as like, let's just have this character with a big belly and heck, let's try project something onto it. Like it's so simple, but it's just insane.
But he doesn't have great reception, and so they're like smacking him like you smack like rabbit ears on your TV, you know? They're like, come on.
I swear I heard some static and some like aerial noises in the background as they were trying to work him. I've got this little list of like the main yokai of the bunch. I feel like we have a bit more of a core cast than there was in the last movie.
Yes. You didn't even like learn their names in the last one, where I think in this you got a few of them, which was helpful.
Did we? I felt like the subtitles was just like this imp, this imp, this imp. And I was
like, I'd say let's go from like order of,
because like, am I right
importance.
That the water imp this time around was Kappa?
Yeah, so Kappa, he almost takes stage as like the main character of this movie. We saw him in the last movie, but he acts as this. I love how they do the practical effects for him. It's basically just this human with green painted over his body with like a very clearly a turtle-like mask and shell and gloves. But for a lot of the other monsters who seem like fully formed animals, like the belly beast you were talking about, there's just this guy who's essentially still a humanoid.
Right. Yeah. Like I was saying that to my wife. I was like, oh, I think he's a turtle. Then he stood up and went, well, those are human nipples. So I don't know anymore.
Yes. It's like a turtle guy, human arms, human legs, human nipples, turtle face, turtle hands.
I've got a list of these guys here, and I'll give you a little bit of like the yokai lore behind
them.
Yes, please.
So Kappa here in Japanese history is a creature with a particular liking for sumo wrestling who would often challenge people to fights.
That makes sense. He had a bit of sumo like fighting style when he first went against the vampire.
Yep,
he was aggressive.
He's very blunt and tries to fight up against Daimon. One of his big traits is that when he gets, his head almost acts as like a little concave pool. The original creator of the yokai, I believe in one of the first iterations, Kappa was drawn by a man called Toriyama Seken, and he noted that when Kappa gets any water in that divot in his head, he becomes like immensely powerful to the power level of even like a samurai.
Oh.
As strong as a warrior is what he said.
Nice.
Which is just a fun little detail.
That is cool. I like that. Very Gremlin-esque.
Yes.
Right?
I just can't see the Kappa in this getting huge and furious and angry.
No.
It's because he didn't get any water in his head.
He's just getting slid across like ice.
Yeah.
Chucked into pools, set ablaze. This dude had a rough time.
If anything, his vision like corrects to 2020. I think like he gets like perfect vision. I think it's like, okay, I can finally see my depth of view is fine, because I felt obviously the mask and everything. I could just be like, this dude has no idea what he's looking at. Like 0 point in this movie.
Eyes straight forward.
But those animatronic eyes, they moved a few times. I kind of liked it. You know,
it was very wacky.
Goofy,
it made it very fun.
But
yes, it was cool.
We also have another new yokai here, Fudakuchi Onna, who is translated by Japanese as the two-mouthed woman. This was a lady who was like completely human, but on the back of her head, she had this really grotesque, like enlarged forehead, crazy long Squidward nose that turns into a hand, which feels very out of the blue. In the mythology here, Fudakuchi Onna is a cursed woman who marries a local miser who loves her because she apparently has no appetite and doesn't eat any of his food. But each night he goes to bed and finds his pantry has been raided by this like kind of Two-Face-esque personality who lives in the back of her head.
And he doesn't know that it's his wife.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like Malignant or something.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
In this story, he stays back from work one night and catches her as the back of her skull cracks open and her hair starts feeding this gnarly mouth food, which is a crazy idea for a pick to put in this movie.
And we don't see any of that. We just
I feel like this is it isn't a horror. Like, it's a horror film, but they didn't really go onto those elements because I think when she's used most in this, it is for the comedy. Like there was a great scene when there's two guards next to the gate and they go to see who's in the like little carriage or whatever.
Yeah.
And one of them checks and it's just this beautiful woman. And like, oh, look at her. We'll let her through.
You see how pretty she is.
Yeah.
Have a look.
The other guy looks and it's just this horrible face. And they like both recheck multiple times. It was funny though, because I think there was times as well where the yokai jump up in the tall, long grass to scare someone. And like she jumps up, but we're seeing the back of her head, but the person she's like standing up in front of would just be seeing her normal face and they're still looking shocked. It was pretty crack up.
Oh my God, a pretty woman.
Yeah. Terrifying. No, get her away from me.
I can't talk to women. No.
Yeah, she really just preys on your fears. We also have Kasa Obake returning from the last movie. This is the umbrella yokai who in the mythology would blow people high into the sky on days of strong winds. Just carry them away.
This felt like the Slimer of the group, you know, like from Ghostbusters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love how he just moved. I think he says a few words early on, but then he exclusively starts talking just with his like hand movements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not wrong. He was talking for a little portion.
I think he said something initially.
He was?
I think so, maybe. Unless it was another yokai.
I mean, I trust y'all. But like I couldn't make ways of like where to look for him.
I was so put off by the mouth. Like
The mouth, yeah.
As the resident podcaster here who has to have their mouth noises edited out of the podcast. It's a whole thing, Brucker. This umbrella's mouth noises scared me.
Ditto.
Beyond belief.
Ditto. It was very visceral.
You know what? I wasn't scared by that. The mouth noises, the tongue was fine, the eye was fine. I don't mind umbrellas. It was this dude's leg. His single leg, when he's constantly like lying on the ground, you're just looking at his upper thigh. I was shocked. I couldn't look away.
What also got me is the fact that it seems like he was just on one single wire. So halfway through any scene, they will just pull him up.
He just disappears in the middle of any scene.
Just whoop. Yeah. I know you just went through the mythology for this, Mykah, but I have a theory that this umbrella wasn't like however it originated and animated wasn't like a normal umbrella that, you know, people would use to shade from the sun or rain or whatever. I think that this is one of those little umbrellas that they put in like your little like fruity tropical alcoholic drinks. Hey. And it came to life then it came to life because that thing was spawned from intoxication, I think.
Yeah, I believe it. Being around too much slurping.
Yes,
constantly off of his head. You can't understand.
That's why its tongue is always out.
Around.
It's looking for more alcohol. It needs help. It needs help.
It does, doesn't it?
I love the scene when he's injured his leg and they're trying to make him stay behind and he's just crawling trying to follow them. Like he needs the next drink. They can't go partying without him.
Gotta find some sake.
Yeah.
I'll also talk about Rakura Kubi returning from the last movie. This is the long-necked woman.
Yes.
I want to say that in the mythology for this, she is a normal human who is just cursed with a long neck. She's generally described as being harmless but frightful.
Mm-hmm.
She is very creepy in this.
I got those vibes. Harmless but scary. She was freaky, and I gotta say, I know like they did a lot of like blocking to like hide where like the actor's body started and the prosthetic began, but I will say they did a pretty good job with it.
I think so. Like there are some scenes where there's one near the start where you see what is very clearly a probably with our high definition screens or whatever, like a very clear puppet head on a long neck, and they would move that behind a post and then the real woman's head would poke out the other side. And it's like they do try to a little bit to make it seem as realistic as possible. There's another scene where you see the lady's head speaking, her eyes are moving, and it almost seems as if she is wearing a black sort of shirt against a black background, with a neck almost like connected to the front of her body. So as she's moving, you can see the neck moving with it. Like they try and make it look quite good with the effects that they had at the time.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing that they did, which I thought like just kind of helped add to it and everything, was that every time like they did have like kind of like a close up on her face, like whenever like the real person's face was showing, there's always like a blue light like emitting from her that was like shining on her head too, which just it was kind of like this creepy thing of like, why is there always this blue light around this long neck lady?
Creepy but harmless. Yeah. I just love, like, one of their first plans to stop the vampire guy is let's send in the long-necked lady by herself. It's like a vampire's dream. Beautiful woman, long neck.
That's what I was thinking, right? Yeah. And then he just twists her into a garlic knot.
Why do you think that would ever stop him?
We also have Abura Sumashi, who was also in the last movie. This is a little oil presser.
Yeah.
He is said to be the reincarnated spirit of oil thieves who went unpunished in life.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Still not holding any oil. I was ready for his little jar of oil, but no, just his little straw outfit. He's still looking for that oil.
His mask is good. I like his mask. We also have Nupeppo here.
Yes.
We spoke about him briefly in the last episode, but this is roughly translated as apparently a corruption for the slang of wearing too much makeup. In the lore, he is a foul-smelling, genderless mass of flesh with an outline of a face, creased into the folds of its fatty exterior. Despite smelling of decaying flesh, Nupeppo is entirely harmless. And it is said that a person who consumes the flesh of Nupeppo will achieve eternal life.
My God.
But it's a warning for women who wear too much
I don't know,
makeup.
man. That is the craziest backstory for a mass of flesh.
That is abhorrent.
There's so much detail in there. The smelling of decaying flesh. Like how messed up is that?
I love the guy though. His stupid little face. There was that scene where they're sneaking in and they're all like disguised as humans wearing those hats. And he's just at the back of the group. Everyone looks mostly humanoid except for him, and he's still wearing a hat. And there's a scene as well. Doesn't one of the humans early on, they're just walking through this forest and they step inside Nupeppo. And he's like like surrounding one of their legs as they pull it back out of the ground.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I love him. He's got speaking roles in this. He's like the main guy. Kappa, get out of here. We want a Nupeppo movie.
It's just so much. It's just a lot to take in. I'm still reeling from that backstory that you just gave.
It's messed up. I guess we should learn, if you ever see Nupeppo, give him a bite to achieve eternal life.
Oh, yes. And just disclaimer, please just be careful of your makeup, guys. Please.
Yeah, we don't want any excessive makeup here.
Yeah.
Lesson learned.
The last kind of main character of the troupe here is Ungaikyo, who in the lore is just a cursed or a haunted mirror, I should say, which shows demons and monsters reflected in its surface. But they kind of skewed it in this iteration and fully made him into this, like, I don't know, like Big the Cat, kind of rabbit-looking creature who just has an obscenely large belly.
And he's originally supposed to be a mirror.
Yeah.
That's some creative liberties. From a mirror to a pregnant raccoon dude.
Yeah. I think what happened was like, all right, we got this mirror character. Fuck, it's a vampire he's fighting. And there's like
Yes.
I don't know, just give him a fat belly that could see the future. I don't know, man.
That's great.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, it was great though this time around to have a bit of a core cast and to get a few that you actually like kind of learn their personalities and see a lot of them and they keep popping up, rather than in the last one when you learn about like one of them and then they all just appear in crowd shots for the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a good change.
I think it also makes the final scene where you see them like, once they start getting a plan to try and fight Daimon, they all say, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to try and recover and gather together all of the spirits of Japan. And I think it makes it all the more fulfilling in that final fight where you have those characters interspersed with, you know, a bunch of other familiar faces that you've seen from the last movie. When we were watching it, you were like, there's that dog guy with the skull staff.
Yeah.
Who I know nothing about. But yeah, it is very fun having more of a core cast, like you said.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Did you have a favorite from the yokai that showed up, Brucker?
Honestly, the long neck lady, I think because I was going, as creepy and scary as she was, as Mykah went through, you know, she is harmless. And I was kind of going through, who do I feel like I could just like sit down and like have a conversation with? And she felt like the most like normal one to conversate with. Like, I feel like I could have a beer with her. So
having a beer with her, you're just constantly looking around the room as her neck's moving, your head's going away.
and I'm just like, yeah, well, it's so what movies do you like? You know, just I feel like she has takes and I want to hear them.
Right, like her makeup is fantastic. She does not have an excess of makeup.
No.
No, she has an excess of neck. That's what she has.
All these guys have such cool stories. Like, yeah, I've loved learning about the yokai because, as we said last episode, like they are just Japanese legends and monsters and our type of cryptids that we talk about. So it is cool to learn about them. Like, I just want to see the new Peppo movie, or I just want to see the like Kappa movie, and there probably are a lot of other films based on these guys.
I think someone in our Discord recently shared that there was a Kappa movie.
There's an infamous like bad movie, I think, called Death Kappa.
It is so funny that like in the modern cinemascape, you do see movies pop up occasionally about like famous Western monsters.
Yeah.
Like how many times have we seen Sasquatch or like, I don't know, Chupacabra movies or however many of those cryptids or monsters that we have. I feel like I should start trying to search more for famous movies about Japanese creatures as well, because there has to be. Just so many
surely.
of them.
Just not really where would usually look for these kind of films.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah.
And I also love that I think the more you watch Japanese media, the more you can find little ties to a lot of these characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember from like the Pokemon franchise, which is Japanese, there's a balloon Pokemon, which is very similar to the Umbrella character that will take and carry children away into the air. A lot of like Studio Ghibli movies have a lot of characters that are very similar to yokai from this. Like the more you delve into that culture, I mean, even games like Animal Crossing have characters like Kappa in them. Like they become very normal the more you immerse yourself in that culture.
Yeah.
Whoa. That no, that would be really cool. And you do make a really good point about like the Western cryptids, and that's something you really think about, like the Eastern version of those from the yokai in these two movies. I think the one I would want to see the most, based on the background that you gave, Mykah, is I forget her name, but the two-faced one.
Yeah, same.
That's like rummaging through the pantry in the middle of the night. Because I can see that being like a pretty creepy like horror movie. Like you think your house is haunted, but it's the back of your partner's head.
Psychological horrors. This guy's just going insane, seeing this other face in his nightmares, but then this beautiful woman throughout the day.
It's like Parasite, but there's no family. Yeah. It's just the back of your partner's head.
Yeah, that's great. And I guess, the other big monster is just Diamond, who I think was like an original monster for this film, the vampire, the main bad guy. And it was cool to see him grow kind of kaiju sized at the end. We did have a bit of classic kaiju action as he's grabbing the yokai up and stepping on them, which was pretty awesome. And it was cool just to see like a Japanese take on vampires as well, because it was quite different, Brock. I was going to ask what you thought of it, because traditionally I feel like vampires in like Western films and stories, quite seductive.
Very
then
sexy.
They'll like prey upon people. Very sexy Western vampires. They'll prey upon people, then they'll like turn them into their thralls and get them to do bits and pieces for them. And I thought that was kind of what was happening in this. He does start preying upon the people in this little feudal village. But then the little like added bit here is that he's also disguising himself as them, which I thought was interesting as.
Yeah, it was really interesting. And, we didn't learn his name until I think like halfway through the movie when that one samurai goes up to his uncle and he like is able to tell him what was going on. But no, I think it's the belly yokai that says his name. Anyways.
That's right. Yeah, you're seeing him in the belly.
Yeah. Anyways, because as I was watching it, because again, he doesn't look like the Western traditional like vampire. Like I literally wrote in my notes to keep up with him, burnt chicken monster. And but then I see him biting people. He's after blood, and it's not only that. There's like the vampirism of it, and like when he bites people, they kind of become his servants. He was also able to kind of not seduce, but almost like hypnotize people to like do his bidding without even biting them. Because there was that one maid that he didn't even bite, and then he's like able to like get her to do some stuff, and then he bit her later.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty cool. I was like, oh, this is vampire coded through and through, and like the masquerade thing where he is able to like shapeshift, look like different people. Kind of felt like maybe like a different take on like the Western, what we think of like those vampires shape-shifting into bats or even wolves in like older text. So yeah, this was cool.
I loved the visuals of it because there was, like I said, they played a lot with shadows and silhouettes, which I also think is like classic vampire, always just creeping up and you see his outline. But I just loved it in this. There was a scene when he's standing behind like the rice paper wall, and you see one of the maids in the house, and you see his shadow behind her through the wall, and she gets up, walks outside, and then almost her shadow becomes one with his, and you realize like, oh, she's gone. She's part of him now, or he has her. Which I loved. And they have a lot of comedy with it too. Like the vampire's sitting down with one of his thralls, and they're like, I assume it's blood that they're pouring out of these kettles and drinking. And then he's just like, I feel like I should add some younger blood to my diet. And then that's when they start getting the kids. I was losing it.
I want to switch to port for tonight. Yeah. It was really good. That shadow scene that you just mentioned, like there was like some good like visual storytelling in this. And I did want to like ask y'all if this stuck out to you at all, and kind of like also going back to like the differences between like Western, or like tying the commonalities between the Western vampires and Diamond burnt chicken here.
Yes,
because there is kind of like it depends what iteration of a Dracula or a vampire movie or story that you're observing, but there's been lots of ties to like Dracula or vampires kind of like being servants of the devil specifically, and then like holy Christianity relics thwarting them, like they don't like crosses and the holy water, things like that. But here in this Spook Warfare movie, I found it like really interesting that one of the first things that he wanted to do while masquerading as the magistrate was to destroy all like their temples that they had for like their altars that they have for the gods.
Yeah.
And what I thought was so cool, I'm probably like over analyzing this, but I thought it was really cool that while he did that, they shot that from the POV of the altar. Like it wasn't like a third person perspective. It was like they put the camera in the altar and you see him destroying it and everything. In multiple altars too, they do that. So I felt like, and I was also like wondering if that was like a cultural thing. Like this would be more impactful for like the audience in Japan to be put into this POV and watch it like this. Whereas I don't know if that means anything more significant than like, like a Western audience watching it. But I thought that was very interesting.
I really love that thought. Because 100% that those scenes when you're looking from the altar, like it is just fantastic on a filmmaking and like cinematic scale. But you think about Japanese culture, and I feel like when we talk about monsters like classic vampires and whatnot, there is a lot of that spiritual history, and more so religious, I think, tied into that. It's really interesting to think about because I feel like Japan and Japanese history more so, like that spiritual side of it is so much more intertwined as part of the culture, to the point where like I wouldn't even be surprised if our modern or even more earlier iterations of characters like Dracula were even inspired in some sense from other Eastern cultures, because it feels like a lot of different cultures share similar stories at times, and like there has to be some connections between blood-sucking creatures. I feel like that myth, that legend has a foot in just so many countries.
Everyone has their own kind of like vampire story, right? Yeah, that's interesting to think about. And yeah, I mean, I love that scene as well, the start. It's so strange though, because he's a vampire from is it Babylon or Babylonia? I think it's somewhere where now is Iraq. I just like he goes Babylonian history, yeah. Goes to Japan, figures out they have altars, and then he like, it was so interesting seeing it from the perspective of the altars. I didn't even think about
that. Oh, that's real good.
He's like wanting to replace them almost.
It very much gives the feel like, first off, the fact that he is from Babylonia and then flies all the way to Japan, just insanely funny in that own aspect. But it gives the sense that, or to me at least, that he believed that these Japanese spirits were a very real and a very serious threat to him. And maybe that was the reason why he wanted to take them out as quickly as possible.
Them. Yeah.
I love the idea of just like, I don't know, these people in America uncovering this tomb of this crazy demon and then immediately flying off to like Hawaii or something.
That's so good. Yeah, I didn't even think about I know I even did the synopsis, but like I kind of forget we do open up in Babylonia and then he boom goes to Japan.
Yeah,
but it's honest, again, tying back to like what we know from Dracula. It's pretty similar
story,
yeah, because like Dracula starts out in Transylvania, but then the rest of the story where he's like committing his killings is in London. So it is him traveling countries and doing that.
Finding someone that's unsuspecting almost to prey upon. And similar, with like you saw a similar like ship in this that he knocks over, similar to, again, it reminded me of Dracula. Like you see, there's a scene in the book, there's a chapter in the book and scenes in most Dracula things of him going across the water on a ship like that. So interesting.
Oh, that's so good. And there's kind of a Renfield in this with the because after he gets his eye stabbed, he like transfers to the other guy. I'm sorry, I know I'm being vague. I kind of get the names, but so he does have like a little bit of a Renfield in this too.
I really love that continuity choice of having Daimon get his eye stabbed, and then from that point, any creature he tries to disguise, or any character he tries to disguise himself as, also has to have that
that injury,
really scarred eye. I just really love that as a concept. That's great.
Yeah, the thrall having to go and fetch him an eye patch was awesome.
Well, that is a really good point, because it does make it easier for the audience to understand the body hopping that he's doing.
Yeah, it's a very clear way of doing it. Also, like, kind of when we've been going through Daimajin, Daimon sticks out as this character who is also very similar in the realm of the Dai world as another. I don't know if you call him an, because Daimajin's not really an antagonist.
Yeah.
It's a gray area. But it's really cool seeing another character who has to do a lot of eye acting.
Yes.
Because there is really no other way that they can express using their, face muscles or their mouth.
Yeah, it was creative as well, how they chose to, like you were saying, Brucker, with the eye, like the ways they chose to show us, the audience, who Daimon was, because there's a lot of this when it's like a human guy, but Daimon's head.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's how we know it's him.
It's always really funny when you see those scenes where it starts to overlay him with the real Daimon, and he's just like twice as wide.
Yeah.
Yes, it was funny because it kind of like the little like fading between the two, and like because Daimon looked so faint, it kind of just looked like a blue mohawk was coming over the person.
Yes. Yeah, I loved how it looked.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I think the thing that sticks out to me most about these, again, I just love hearing about other cultures' monsters and hearing their stories and seeing how they put those to film. But yeah, the practical effects, even though in some aspects you could see the wires on the umbrella guy or Kappa probably didn't look as impressive as they thought he did. There were scenes that did kind of blow me away, like when Kappa is blood. I think he like gets some water in his mouth and he squirts it at Daimon, and then you see the water curve. Was a cool effect, and then hit him back in the face. And there was another scene when they try and hit Daimon with a weapon, and then the weapon freezes and then stays in midair when they're like moving around it. It was just really cool for the time period. Like, even though I know when we covered the Gamera movies, I was not that blown away with the special effects, but yeah, Daimajin and Yokai monsters so far, there's been some real stellar stuff.
Yeah, especially the fact that, like, while a lot of the movie does feel very wacky, that there are just like a few scattered scenes or like actions or effects that they do that really do feel a little bit ahead of its time.
And the blood was cool too, like the bright red blood dripping down onto someone's hand.
Yeah.
Like the imagery really sticks with you.
Yeah, no, it really does. And y'all are making some like good points, because I totally forgot about like the water bending thing, because that was very, very cool. And this one was like less of a visual thing, but just more of like a cool prop that they made, like the staff that Diamond has, and there's parts where they have like actual fire just spitting out of it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, 60s are fucking wild. I love this. This is great.
Yeah, it was cool. And then when they're playing around with overlaying monsters on top of each other later on, I'll get into some of the trivia now, shall I? Because a bit of it's covered there, but especially the scene at the end, the big like yokai war scene when they're gathering the yokai from the land, the sea, the air to go up against kaiju Daimon. Each monster in that, apparently they were all filmed by themselves.
Oh, wow.
In 3 or 5 times the normal speed. So they were all filmed on like sped up film, and then they were layered upon each other to the point that when they were making this, there were 8 different layers of film with 8 different yokai at different speeds, all over top of one another. They were composited, they were slowed down to create that effect. And I have to admit, like, it's pretty jarring. Like, I was finding it hard to pay attention to who was fighting who at the end, but it's still really impressive that, like, all those actors are just overlaid on top of one another and you're seeing so much happening on the screen in front of you.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very much like the super early prototype of like what oh my god, I'm blanking on Peter Jackson, what he did for Lord of the Rings. For like, because to get like the massive armies, they kind of like would film like a handful of people and then just boop, 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 like multiply it.
Yeah.
So it felt like the super early like version of that without digital.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you look at it, like it's impressive just seeing like multiple diamonds coming out of one another and facing all the yokai. But then when you also add the like historical context and thinking about how they did that back then, it wasn't just like overlaying them in an editing software and then clicking like multiply or blend.
Right.
It was just actually cutting film and overlaying it and doing multiple takes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I think like personally it kind of fit a little bit thematically. Like you have this entire army of spiritual beings. And it felt like almost there were so many to the like you couldn't keep track of them because there were so many that it felt like more of this great army.
Yeah.
Especially when they're all transparent and like
Ghostly.
it is really rough trying to keep track of what's happening in that last battle.
Yes.
The only other piece of trivia that I had was that the director of this one, it was different to the last Yokai Monsters movie. His name was Yoshiyuki Kuroda, and he was a special effects director on the original Daimajin film. So, Mykah, your favorite, once again, one of the things he wanted to utilize and use a lot in this film was the huge blue backlit screen. The big blue screen that they use to composite all these guys together and make, especially Diamond in this one, look huge while having him in the same scene of the smaller yokai and the smaller people.
It's such a Dai staple. I love it.
They've got one huge blue screen from the United States that they're just utilizing for all of their movies, which I think was like way ahead of even some of the stuff Toho was doing with its blue screen and compositing at the time. It's pretty crack up. Cool to see.
That's cool.
Yeah, because I like the diamond stuff, man. Like Giant Diamond at the end. I loved him. I'm not sure if I was a huge fan of how he died by who was it? One of the yokai caught a ride on the umbrella guy up into his eyes.
It was Little Oil Boy.
Little Oil Boy was on umbrella guy flying up to meet him. And I'm pretty sure that Diamond would see them coming, but he doesn't really do anything to stop them. They just fly up, and a couple of yokai fly up and then all simultaneously chuck weapons into his other eye to get him in the weak spot. Which is a little bit anticlimactic for me, but it was cool to see. Like visually, it was cool.
Yeah.
Well, the cool part about it is that Diamond did like multiply, so they had to defeat many of him and then find like the real one. So
I forgot who the real one was.
So I guess that was like kind of like the real like feat they had to do. But
yeah,
and I said this earlier about how this felt like felt very Power Rangers to me, and I don't know if y'all grew up watching that show, but at the like end of every episode of that, they have to like the monster gets like, you know, as tall as skyscrapers, and so the Power Rangers have to assemble together in their big giant robot and fight it. That's what and again, it felt like that here too, with him increasing in size so much.
I loved it because in that last sequence, it felt like they were trying to bring together all the yokai we knew and have them like almost have their own part in the battle. Like Big Belly Cat, that's how they found out which one was the true Daimon, when they looked into his stomach and saw which beast it was.
Yeah.
You had the umbrella flying up. I don't think anybody else really did anything, but those two were great.
Just these sentences that are coming out of your mouth right now.
I love how Kappa, the main yokai, is literally just hiding under the water for the whole last fight as well. He gets scared there with some fire.
He's powering up. He's trying to collect all the water in his dish.
Yeah. But yeah, I had a really fun time with this. Should we go into some final thoughts and a rating? If you maybe wanted to lead us off, Brucker.
I guess like my final thoughts are that this is just wacky. It felt very kind of campy. It was kind of cool to see kind of like an Eastern influence of like a campy vampire type of movie. I really enjoyed all of that. So, but I did feel like it was a little bit of a drag, as it felt like it could have maybe had like better pacing, a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
So I guess the rating system for this, out of 5 self-repairing katanas, how many self-repairing katanas would you rate Spook Warfare? I guess I'll start since I'm asking the question. I'm going to go with 2. self-repairing katanas. That's still a lot of self-repairing katanas.
Yeah,
you
man,
know?
any self-repairing katanas. Oh.
Yeah, that's still a lot. I really enjoyed everything we talked about and pulling all like the comparisons to Dracula. I thought that was so cool. But yeah, I'm going to go with 2 self-repairing katanas.
Love it.
I like this one a lot more than the first one. I think I do believe that having the yokai as more so the main cast of characters and being more at the center of the story and the heart of the story than the humans,
big difference, I think,
works quite well.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, there's a small sequence in this one where a lot of the yokai are trapped inside the little pot that has the protection sticker.
The protection seal stuff was so funny. Like them trying to put it onto Diamond, but then it flying past him and falling onto Kappa's head, and then all of them grabbing Kappa and all of them getting stuck in a jar.
I love that. It's fun.
It was like, oh no, we forgot about wind. It just flies off.
Yeah.
The greatest enemy. I think because there's such a breadth of yokai to pick and choose from in the mythology of Japan as well, like this movie lends itself really well as to showing those monsters and showcasing them. Granted, I think the first movie had a lot of aspects that I loved more. I think the whole idea of the 100 monsters ceremony and like having these vignettes that dive into the lore of these characters and these very short segments where that one character gets to shine was really impactful, and that was my favorite part of the first movie. And I feel like although these characters do get to do a fair bit in this movie, I feel like they never really lived up to the heights of these crazy spiritual creatures that they were made out to be. Like, as much as I love the long-necked lady, for what is supposed to be this like really powerful spiritual creature, she really just has a long neck and that's it.
It's funny because in the first one, the whole premise of 100 Monsters is that they're telling the stories of the yokai monsters to one another so that they can seal them away and not be haunted by them.
And they're like these cautionary tales.
Yeah.
And really scary.
It's in this one, I think like one of the yokai says to one of the humans, "Don't worry, we're good monsters. Like, don't worry, we're the good guys. Free us. We'll stop the big demon vampire guy." But are they really the good guys? Like, the whole reason the yokai monsters exist are to haunt people if they're putting on too much makeup.
Yeah.
And to haunt people if they're catching fish in the wrong lake.
They're
and
these
to kill
cursed
them.
beings.
Yes.
That's so fascinating to me. Just from like the language that the yokai were using in this, because at least like the subtitles, if they are accurate, were very much about how the water imp and like the yokai were talking about how it was important to defeat Diamond because he was a bad apparition and it would be embarrassing for Japan for them to have that type of apparition.
Yeah.
Because they're all good apparitions, right? They're all like guardian spirits nicely looking after their, apparently, according to this one.
I do like that this is a sequel that feels very distinct and very separate from the first one. It feels like they went a different direction in terms of like the iteration of the original yokai stories that they wanted to take. That's just interesting. I think I am going to sit at a 2.5 self-reforming katanas. One of them didn't reform quite properly.
It's halfway there.
I'm going to rate it the same just because there are a lot of different aspects which I like, but I think that's sitting still about that same level for me.
Nice. Yeah, it's been an interesting conversation, especially comparing the last two movies because they are very different. I'm just going through some of my notes here. I loved how all the Japanese guys in this had like white socks with sandals. Like they're in sandals a lot, right? But these were like distinct white socks, couple jandals on their feet. It's just great style.
They still have the great like folded back the folded forward ponytail.
Yeah, feudal Japan. Yeah. What a place to be. And I was haunted. I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but when they're like calling all the yokai together at the end, I think that lady with the ugly face on the back of her head is whistling, or there was a certain whistle that just kept repeating during the conclusion of this. It was taking me back to like PE class or like gym class at school. It's probably the most haunting, scary bit in the movie, just hearing that reverberating in my ears.
One day you're going to have to go up against this crazy kaiju and your PE teacher's just standing in the background with a whistle.
Yes.
Urging you forward.
Yes. But to be honest, like, I think I'm probably a bit biased with this, but I think I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 self-reforming katanas.
Whoa.
I thought it was way better than the first one.
General Grievous of katanas over here.
I know. Yeah, that's
them
me.
all.
I think this just appeals to my sensibilities. Like, when I go to horror movies, I love the more like in-depth, like scary stuff. But I think my vibe and the stuff that are my favorites are when it's really goofy. Like, there's a couple of cool monsters and cool character designs, and they're really funny and silly with some like real practical effects, some great gore. And I think this was a lot of that to me. I would have loved if we had more depth to the human characters, because we cannot even remember their names. There was a samurai in it that tries to stand up against Daimon. There was a lady, the lady of the house, that was kind of there.
His daughter, yeah.
There was the kid who kind of had his butt cheeks shown most of the time.
Yeah, the dude with his butt hacking out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we got to see some kid butt in this.
There's a lot of it. There's too much of it. But yeah, I think like pacing wise, character wise, there could have been a bit more to it. But honestly, just seeing Potato Man, someone stepping right into him, or seeing the umbrella guy dropping down and licking someone's cheek, or seeing Kappa trying to stop this eons old vampire just by doing some sumo wrestling moves. Like, I was just having a blast. It's really, really silly, but I think it's also pretty creative, and the atmosphere is very moody. Mm-hmm. Like, it's very moody. The visuals are great. Yeah, I think this was just a Jaysha movie, a certified Jaysha movie. So I had a good time with it.
Nice. It sounds like you would love Power Rangers.
I think I just need to watch Power Rangers. Yeah.
Oh man, did I just okay?
Honestly, it's crazy because I know a lot of the Power Ranger shows at the moment are filmed in New Zealand.
Oh,
I think
really?
A few of them are
That's
filmed
cool.
over here. I've seen when I've been on like a work trip them filming like on a Power Rangers shoot, but I've never seen it. We didn't grow up with it, so.
Oh man,
I think one of our relatives could have been
the Pink Power Ranger.
One of the Pink Power Rangers at some point,
What?
but turned it down.
Oh.
She turned it down. She was offered the role. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That was like every little boy's like first like crush was the Pink Ranger.
Pink Power Ranger.
Yes.
Nah, get out of here. Get out of here. My crush is the long-necked woman, guys. That's my crush.
Oh, a lot of necking to do. Yeah.
Necking. Let's hear what some of our listeners thought of Spook Warfare, shall we?
Yes.
We have a review here from G. Kira, who said, Spook Warfare is a definite upgrade from 100 monsters. The yokai themselves are much more fleshed out this time around, unlike last time when many of them didn't have a lot of distinguishing characteristics. Having another demon be the villain was a far more interesting choice than the evil magistrate trope of the last few films we've watched. I still think it tries to take itself too seriously, though. These monsters aren't scary in the slightest, yet the creators try to make us think that they are. I think taking a comedic tone similar to Ghostbusters would have been far more effective. I give Yokai Monsters Spook Warfare 2 protection charms out of 5. 2 out of 5 from G. Kira.
Ooh, that was a good review.
Yeah, it was good. I'm getting sick of magistrates. It's been months and months of magistrates over here at Podzilla. It's finally good to see one of them get killed in the first 5 minutes. I was relieved. We have another review from Preston, or Henshin Hero, over on Letterboxd. And Preston says, a non-stop tokusatsu romp. Lots of yokai in this very rushed sequel to 100 Monsters, but shockingly the rushed nature never feels that apparent. The plot follows a band of yokai who must overthrow an evil vampire who is posing as the local magistrate. It's a simple plot, but manages to use this as a set piece for fun moments that really just don't disappoint. The last act is pure cinema and some of the best tokusatsu from the 60s. 5 out of 5 from Preston.
Preston is the one here holding all the swords.
Yeah. I think me and Preston have similar tastes when it comes to these things. I remember Preston really loving Daimajin Canon as well.
Hey, yes.
I think that's just grown in my memory. I think I like that. That was a good show, now that I think back to it. And we have a last review here from Mothra Fanboy. Mothra Fanboy says, after being slightly disappointed by 100 Monsters, I went into Spook Warfare not expecting much. But however, when I finished the film, I went to myself, I was mistaken. Yokai Monsters Spook Warfare is an incredible film with a great story and a kappa that stole my heart. From feeling at home in the Yokai village to the awesome final battle, Yokai Monsters Spook Warfare is getting a solid 4 kappa refilling stations out of 5. Can't wait for your episode on Along with Ghosts, as I have seen the film before, but it'll be an interesting discussion. I'll see you then. Thanks for sending in, guys. I do love Kappa, like getting set aflame and then he just runs to go and find some water somewhere. Dude has to keep his water up.
I love how in a movie where you have a ball of flesh and a sumo turtle, the sumo turtle is the one who's treated as a comedic relief.
Yeah, please. New Peppo. He needs to be taken seriously.
He's the everyman.
Yes.
Plays it straight.
Yes, yeah. The potato head looking man is very serious. Yeah.
But no, yeah, thanks for sending in, guys. As always, you can email us podzillapod@gmail.com or tag your reviews Podzilla on Letterboxd when you follow along. It's cool to hear your views and just for them to be very varied in their ratings, similar to us here on the episode. It's always interesting to read. And I will just quickly say, next week we are continuing with Yokai Monsters Along with Ghosts, which Mothra Fanboy just mentioned. And the synopsis for this one is, in feudal Japan, gangsters chase a young girl who might testify against their boss. When the gangsters murder the girl's grandfather on sacred ground, the door is open for the Yokai Monsters to step in.
That sounds fun.
Little fleshy new Peppo going up against Japanese gangsters. I'm ready.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
It's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, but no, this is awesome. I've been really enjoying Yokai Monsters and Brucker. Honestly, it was so cool to be able to get you on to cover one of these with us. So thanks, man. This has been super fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on. And I just wanted to say that one of my favorite segments of y'all's show is the people writing in and sharing letterbox reviews with y'all and y'all reading them here. So people keep sending them in. That's one of my favorite parts of listening to Podzilla, is just hearing the community share their thoughts with y'all. It's awesome.
It's always so fun. Brucker, real quick, we wanted to give you a little bit of time to showcase any projects that you're working on, or even just speak a little bit about your podcast in a bit more detail.
Please, guys, because I don't know about you, but I've been seeing Autopsy of a Horror Movie episodes popping back up in my feed this October, and it's been like the best time. It finally feels like we're getting close to Halloween with your podcast, Brucker, Autopsy of a Horror Movie, popping back up. So yeah, what are you doing over there at the moment?
Well, thank you so much for that. And yeah, people can find my show Autopsy of a Horror Movie anywhere. And right now for October, I'm doing a whole slate of sequel movies. So movies that are specifically like the number 2 sequel. So I got an episode out on Scream 2, Halloween 2 with a guy named Law Ware. He was a very cool guest to have on. He teaches film theory over at Oklahoma State University, and he writes for like the New York Times. The dude is like,
oh wow,
very well versed in film. So it was so cool having him on to talk about Halloween 2. We'll have an episode coming out later this month on Bride of Frankenstein, another great horror sequel. And then assuming we're able to find the time, Jasher and I are going to sit down to do a commentary track for one of my favorite slashers, Friday the 13th, Part 2, 1981. The Baghead Jason. We're going to talk all over that glorious movie. It's going to be great. Still don't know how awkward it's going to get as we're watching the sex scenes together, but like we'll get through it.
It's going to be intimate. It's going to be an intimate little commentary track.
Absolute silence.
Hey, Jason, why'd you mute yourself? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
So
that's going to be really, really fun. I can't wait for that. And I mean, over on your show as well, myself and you have kind of been journeying through the Friday the 13th movies. So we've done a whole episode on the first 3 Friday the 13th. So have a listen to the episode on Friday the 13th part 2. And then, look up for that commentary track coming up soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to like, again, hype up those Friday 13th ones, that guest I just mentioned I had on, the professor from Oklahoma State, he posted that our conversation from Friday 13th part 1 was the best conversation he's ever like listened to. In a very serious way too.
A professor?
Yeah, he said that's for a guy that teaches film and covers slasher movies. That's pretty high praise for us two knuckleheads. But
it's fantastic to hear.
And if people do also like more commentary tracks, also in tandem with the movies, I am also doing a weekly commentary track series on Mike Flanagan's The Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
Fantastic horror haunted house show. If people haven't watched it, I do occasionally give spoilers to other episodes in that while you're watching it, but it's been so much fun doing that. So if people want to check that out too, that's been coming out weekly as well.
Yeah, awesome. Honestly, I love your stuff, Brucker, and links in the show notes. Make sure to check it out. And we're gonna have to think of what a weirder movie we can get you on for in the seasons to come. We're gonna keep outdoing ourselves with something very strange.
Yes. And if you find something weirder, I'm still going to be like, where did you get this? What deep rabbit hole did y'all go on?
That sounds like a challenge, and I love it.
Yeah, it does. And we need round 2 of see if Mike has learned his horror themes by then. We'll see how we go.
I'll read up on some spooky scores. Brucker, did you real quick want to give another shout out to where people can find you as well?
Yes, absolutely. You can find me on pretty much all the socials. All of them are the same handle, at Brucker Horror. I am way more active on Instagram and Threads than anything else if people want to reach out.
Love it. Yeah, guys, this has been fun. So, stay tuned next week for Along with Ghosts. Go and check out Brucker's podcast in the meantime. And I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been a bit shocked during this episode because I think I put on a bit too much makeup today. So I'm going to have to rush off and try to wash off some of my makeup before the little flesh guy gets to me.
Oh,
so I'm sorry to cut it short. I got to run to the bathroom.
Oh no, it's okay. I'm feeling a tongue from maybe a leg touching the back of my neck right now. I think I got to go too.
Or a bit of
slab of
food,
meat.
Whatever that was.
What was that?
I don't know.
I need to pull that trick on one of my friends. Just bring a fishing rod with a slab of ham. Who was that who licked you? What?
I thought it was like a slab of fat or something initially, but then he's chewing into it. He's like, it's good to eat.
It's a great scene where the guy spends like a full 5 seconds trying to hide it. He like shoves it in his jacket, doesn't do it, nearly bites it and puts it in his mouth. No.
Yeah, I was so confused what was happening there. I thought it was from the umbrella thing. I was like, oh, it has like gadgets like Batman, and it just had this slab of fat.